Medic is boring. It's a phrase you must have heard at least a few times if you have spent any time playing Team Fortress 2. So in today's video we will be trying to not only deep dive into why this is nothing but a misconception, but also take an in-depth look at what the Medic class offers within Team Fortress 2 and some other games that can be often overlooked. On paper, Medic has 150 health, a default speed of 107 and these three weapons: Syringe Gun, Medigun, and the Bone Saw. Now you may be thinking, but nobody uses this loadout, unlike other classes which most often have their default loadouts as mostly the strongest. And you would be right. Ever since the Crusader's crossbow was added during the first ever Australian Christmas, it changed how the Medic is played forever. The competitive community quickly found out how powerful it was and showed the world. Since then, the Crusader's crossbow is the default primary weapon for any self-respecting medic. The melee Bone Saw is also something that was replaced ages ago with the direct upgrade that the Uber Saw is. While it does have a slower swing speed, its positive effect of adding 25% Uber with each successful hit absolutely crushes the cons. Now, the only piece of equipment that has remained as the go-to in most situations from the default Medic's loadout is the Medigun. Sure, it can often be exchanged for the Kritzkrieg or the Vaccinator if need be, but it still is the safest pick if you are unsure of the matchup that lies ahead. In order to understand the incredible game sense that is required to play Medic at a very high level, we need to investigate what exactly that game sense is made of. While there are many factors, the most important skills of any Medic can be found within a basic mid-tier competitive Medic checklist. Firstly, you have to understand the rollout procedure. That means you have to understand the healing order at the start of the round to ensure that the classes such as Soldier and Demoman can make it to the middle by using their weapons to rocket or sticky jump and still have a decent chunk of health left. Also, to buff scouts right before the middle point so that they are ready to strike. You must understand your importance to the team and how your death may impact the entire match moving on. It is a great benefit if you can count your enemy's Uber and know if you have an advantage by following when they or you are dead. You have to learn to let go. Oftentimes medics find themselves in a position where the only teammate or teammates they are with decide to overextend and risk their lives for a minimal reward. You must learn to identify these moments and know when you should instead run away and let them die because of the mistakes they are making, not to risk your own life. You need to understand when to use the crossbow or when to heal with your medigun. The crossbow gives you less Uber charge with the healing you do, so being able to think on your feet and know when to use which can save you in a life or death situation. You have to know when to pop the Uber and to understand that saving lives is not the only purpose it has. Many beginner medics think that popping the Uber is mostly mandatory when the person you are healing is about to die, while actually it is much more beneficial to Uber people before they lose barely any health. That ensures your team still has a lot of health after the Uber ends, and you can continue to push and surprise the enemy with your advantage. You need to know which fights you can pick and which you cannot. Knowing when exactly to flee the scene of crime or when to try and take out that enemy that wants to take your head off is important. You have to try and track how low the enemy is, how much ammo they could have left in the chamber, what your surroundings are, and what advantages you might have that could help you take the kill. Because you are not a flank role and almost always stay with the majority of the team, in any competitive team you will often get to make the main calls. That means you need to know the general strategies for each team and map and when to execute them to get closer to victory. While this is definitely not the full list, it should already tell you about how much more a medic has to do to be a great one. It is no surprise that the medic is not the most exciting class on first sight. But many people tend to skip on so much fun and excitement just because shooting a rocket at the ground or getting a headshot seems so much more rewarding. However, the medic class has its own rewards, which upon experiencing, you would treasure for a very long time. Hitting an air shot healing arrow on a rocket jumping soldier that is about to die, popping crits at the right moment for the fattest sticky bomb to land on a king of the hill point and absolutely destroy 5 enemies are just a few. I think it is obligatory for me to come clean and let you know that I have been maining the medic class since 2012, and certainly I am biased for this topic. However, I can assure you that I am trying to take this with a clean mind. After so many years of playing medic, it no longer surprises me that I see very few medics running around, let alone to find any medic mains. But we must admit, playing Medic in Team Fortress 2 is so much more exciting than playing a healing class in any other first-person shooter. Not only because of the vast amount of different weapons you can use, but also because of all the different mechanics a medic can use. Lastly, to anyone that possibly wants to try and play Medic on a more serious note, I will leave some resources not only for learning, but also improving your game directly with a few scripts that are nothing but helpful. As always, thank you so much for watching, I hope to see you again next time, consider subscribing, and have a wonderful day. Bye!